Today, Harris heads to Madison. We'll preview the Democratic nominee's rally and which candidate just received a new endorsement.
Plus, how the U.S. Postal Service is preparing for November's election. Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Kyrie Lee.
And I'm Chris Stanford. We got something to be happy about besides the weekend.
Yes.
Got that rain overnight last night that we have been so desperately waiting for.
Yes, and the thing is, just hearing that rain just made it even harder to wake up, but we're going to be drying out.
There's something about that rain that makes you want to stay in bed a little bit longer.
Yeah, just I think I curled up a little tighter when I heard it. I was like, oh, I only got like an hour left here, but I'm going to curl up anyway.
There you go. All right. Well, Savannah is outside. No umbrella needed. That rain is out of here. How much did we get? What did some communities see?
Yeah, some areas, mainly west of Madison, picked up anywhere between 1.5 inches, close to 2.5 inches. I don't know if that's necessarily enough to make a big dent on our updated drought monitor, just mainly because we had almost 3 weeks in a row with nearly no rainfall across most of southern Wisconsin. In Madison, we got about 1/2 inch. That was prior to midnight, and then a little bit more tacked on after midnight. But long moving out of here, that's off towards Lake Michigan at that point in time, even east of Milwaukee. Those did break up. Temperatures are going to be warm today. We're already very mild this morning because of those showers and higher humidity levels and dew points. We're actually in the mid-60s right now, did not fall below that. Temperatures will warm into the 80s today. 83 is the forecast high. Still warm tomorrow, and then another chance of showers will move in as early as Saturday evening, night, and then into Sunday. During that time frame, we'll track off and on showers. I'll time that out, and half of it could affect your weekend plans. That's coming up a little later.
All right, sounds good. Savannah, thank you. Vice President Kamala Harris will head to Madison today.
That's right. The Democratic presidential nominee has a rally planned for this evening. Our Michelle Renee Quinn is live now to preview her first visit to the state since the debate. Good morning.
Chris, Kyrion, good morning. In just several hours, Vice President Kamala Harris will be here campaigning today. This is her 4th visit to Wisconsin since announcing her presidential nomination. Now, since the Republican-Democratic convention that took place in Milwaukee in July, former President Donald Trump has been back to our battleground state twice. His vice presidential nominee, J.D. Vance, has been to Wisconsin 5 times. Tim Walz, the Democratic vice presidential nominee, has also been to the state 5 times, 2 of which with running mate Harris, just miles from Vance. A Marquette Law School poll survey of Wisconsin finds 52% of registered voters support Harris, compared to 48% supporting Trump. Now, Wisconsin Democrats are helping to organize the rally today. They're requiring an RSVP as well as showing up between 3 and 7 p.m. According to their website, the event is full and they've set up a wait list. Live in Madison, Michelle Renee Quinn, News 3 Now.
Michelle Renee, thank you. Well, neither presidential candidate has the endorsement of the Teamsters union, but Milwaukee-based Joint Council 32 of the union did endorse Vice President Harris. The group represents several thousand Wisconsinites. It includes the local 120 in our area. The Joint Council 32 says Harris and her running mate Governor Tim Walz have advanced policies protecting workers and those in unions. Meanwhile, internal polling shows that most members of the Teamsters union do support former President Donald Trump.
The Wisconsin Election Commission wants the state Supreme Court to take on Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s ballot case. The petition argues the case is highly time-sensitive and consequential for the people of Wisconsin. RFK's legal team filed an appeal of a Dane County judge's decision from earlier in the week. The judge upheld the Election Commission ruling that Kennedy had to stay on the ballot because he missed the deadline to drop out.
Living in the crosshairs of national politics is taking a toll on Springfield, Ohio. Frequent bomb threats have disrupted daily life. Residents are left on edge over which schools or stores may be evacuated or closed at any given moment. City officials say their goal is to get back to normal, but that may have to wait as the rhetoric and misinformation targeting Haitian immigrants intensifies. It's resulting in the mayor now issuing a proclamation that grants him temporary emergency powers.
I'm going to go there in the next 2 weeks.
If either one of the candidates wanted to come to Springfield, it would be very, very difficult to have them here.
Former President Trump says he'll visit the city in the next 2 weeks. Former Republican candidate Vivek Ramaswamy and a congressional delegation also have plans to visit Springfield.
The U.S. Postmaster General says the Postal Service is ready to deliver mail-in ballots. Louis DeJoy listed what he calls extraordinary measures that will begin next month. That includes designated lines at the post office for those with ballots, extra deliveries, and after-hour drop-offs to election offices. USPS processing facilities will also be open the Sunday before election.
We encourage the voting public to mail early if they choose to vote by mail, and to put their returned ballot back in the mail at least 7 days before it must be back to their election official under the laws of the state where they are voting.
The USPS faces criticisms from political leaders on both sides of the aisle over recent breakdown in service.
To the race for Dane County executive now is between Senator Melissa Agard and Dana Pelobon, the director of Dane County's Sexual Violence Resource Center. Among the candidates originally running in the primary, Madison Common Council Alder Regina Vitiver. Vitiver announced who she'll be supporting. In a statement, she says that Dana Pelobon brings the business acumen, management expertise, and community leadership that Dane County needs for its next executive. I hope everyone who supported me in the primary will shift their support to Dana in the general election.
A Prairie man is in custody accused of holding up an ice cream shop and pizzeria. Police say one incident occurred at El Pollito Pio. Police say the man distracted an employee before stealing the tip jar from the counter and running out. 2 days later, police responded to Anna's Pizzeria, where the man pulled out a firearm and demanded money from 2 employees. The man ran after taking the cash. No injuries were reported.
6:06 now. UW-Madison's launching a pharmacy-focused regional center. The goal is to combat the opioid crisis. 2 associate professors are leading the launch. The Wisconsin Opioid Overdose Center will be based at the pharmacy school with a special focus on fentanyl.
While there are good solutions out there to mitigate the consequences of overdose and the likelihood of overdose, not everybody who might benefit from those approaches is getting access to them.
The professors will be getting the center up and running between October of this year and next September. They're connecting with pharmacies and health professionals statewide. They hope it will launch, they hope that will help launch the center's programs and initiatives.
Wisconsin hits a record high for jobs. The Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development says in August, the state's unemployment rate hit 2.9%. That's more than 1% below the national rate. Non-farm jobs in August went up by more than 11,500. That makes more than 3 million jobs.
The Biden administration is offering insurers new subsidies. This is to avoid a hike in Medicare drug plan premiums. Participating insurers will get an extra $15 per month per member. That is, if they limit increases to $35 per month from the prior year. The increase wasn't unexpected. The Inflation Reduction Cap lowered out-of-pocket prescription costs, so insurers were expected to raise premiums to cover those additional costs. New subsidies sparked criticism from Republicans. They say the federal government is spending billions to address deficiencies in the IRA. A new Federal Trade Commission staff report says that major social media and video streaming services conducted vast surveillance of their users to monetize their personal information. The report analyzed how 9 companies collected data. Those include Meta, Facebook's parent company, YouTube, and TikTok. The FTC says that while companies make a lot of money harvesting personal data, it can also put people's privacy in danger, and it can expose them to things like identity theft and stalking. It also said the firms failed to adequately protect children and teenagers. So the FTC recommends that companies limit data collection and sharing, restrict targeted advertising, and improve protections for teenagers.
Time now, 6:08. It can be hard to find the right way to talk to teens and preteens about topics like drugs, sex, and mental health. But experts say there are ways to guide them toward making responsible decisions and reduce certain risk. Mandy Gaither reports on how to get teens to open up.
We're all busy and have to contend with modern day technologies, but staying connected with children is one of the best things a parent can do.
I have 3 teenage girls, and it is the best part of my life. But I also know how hard it can be sometimes to get kids to talk. talk about their feelings.
A recent CDC survey found nearly 77% of parents believe their teens always have the social and emotional support they need, but only 28% of teens agreed with that.
Close emotional relationships between parents and teens are associated with all kinds of long-term benefits. Improved mental and general health, less dangerous behavior like substance abuse.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says there are prompts to help get preteens and teens to open up.
Maybe ask teens for their internal weather report or what weather pattern best reflects how they feel at the time. You can also ask them what song or movie describes their mood. Maybe ask about the high and low points of their day.
When connecting with teens, the CDC says to also engage in active listening. Find out more about what they like and why, and be the person they trust and want to come to when they need an adult.
The goal here is to build a safe and supportive space where people can be vulnerable. So do respect any boundaries and be patient.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The CDC says if you have concerns about your child's well-being, behavior, or overall mental health, please contact a healthcare provider.
The Willie Street Fair kicks off this weekend. 3 blocks of Willie Street's going to be closed. Those are between South Livingston and South Ingersoll Street. The 300 blocks of South Patterson and South Brearley will also be closed. Saturday, streets are going to be closed from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m., so pretty much all day. And then Sunday, closures will start at 8 a.m. and last until 10 p.m. There's also the parade that's going to happen on Sunday from 11 a.m. to noon. If you want more information on the routes and closures, just head to channel3000.com.
This will be a great kickoff to the fall season here.
But the weather this weekend is going to make your planning kind of tricky. Right, Savannah? We have some rain in the forecast.
We do have more rain in the forecast. We got some much needed rain last night. I'll talk about which weekend day is going to be the better of the day. We're also waking up to some patchy fog. When that'll dissipate, I'll have all that coming up.
Also ahead of the game against Tennessee Sunday, the Packers are updating the status of Jordan Love.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning, brought to you by Toyota.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Right now, you can lease a tough new 2024 Tacoma for $319 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years. Highest gas prices ever. Skyrocketing interest rates. Unaffordable housing. Incomes down. Unemployment rising. And a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message. 4 years ago, in this alley, rioters threw a brick at my face and knocked out my teeth. Why? Because I was a police officer. And what did Kamala Harris do? While America's cities were burning, Kamala was defending peaceful protest. She raised millions to help bail rioters out of jail and supported defunding our police, making us all less safe. Kamala Harris is dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde insulted Wisconsin seniors.
Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
What a jerk. He attacked those who are overweight.
Fine, you want to do that? Your health care is going to cost more.
How insulting is that?
He called farmers lazy.
Look at the old physical toil. Now you're largely driving around a tractor.
This guy doesn't have a clue.
Eric Hovde has insulted just about everyone.
What's wrong with this guy?
This shouldn't take too long, should it?
Oh no, I'll have the unit up and running in a jiffy. Oh, sorry, I have to go to the shop and get another part. Sorry, I don't have that part either. Sorry, I don't have that part either.
But you said it would be quick.
At Cardinal, we respect your time as much as you do. That's why our technicians come prepared with fully stocked trucks, ready to handle most issues in just one visit. Discover the difference. Call Cardinal. This
This election is about two very different visions for our nation. One focused on the future, and the other focused on the past. When the middle class is strong, America is strong. Lowering the cost of living will be a defining goal of my presidency. I'll lower the cost of insulin and prescription drugs for everyone, and I will work to pass the first ever federal ban on price gouging on food. More than 100 million Americans will get a tax cut. We will end America's housing shortage by building 3 million new homes and rentals that are affordable for the middle class. Together, we will build an economy where everyone can compete and have a real chance to succeed. Now is the time to chart a new way forward.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Well, good morning and happy Friday. We did get finally some much needed rain across all of southern Wisconsin yesterday. The heaviest did fall mainly west of Madison, north of Platteville, and around that area, upwards of 1.5 to even 2 inches to 2.5 inches of rain. And more is in the forecast. The rest of Friday going to be dry. As a result, those showers now long moving out of here. They're even east of Milwaukee and breaking up at this point in time. We do have some thicker cloud cover, warm, mild temperatures in the mid-60s early this morning, but some patchy, dense fog. Madison's down to 9 miles for the most part. All the dense fog is well west of Madison. This is our updated drought monitor that came out yesterday. Camp Douglas, through the Dells, south of Watertown, and just to the southwest of Waukesha, now placed under moderate drought conditions through Prairie, Duchesne, south of Boscobel, Platteville, south of Mineral Point, Monroe, and then around the Beloit area, also now included in that moderate drought. So the rain we had yesterday might not be necessarily enough to get us out of the abnormally or even moderate drought conditions we're now under, but more rain's in the forecast. The rest of Friday is going to be dry. Most of Saturday is looking dry too. I think Saturday will be the better of the 2 weekend days. Warmer temperatures, it'll feel summer-like, still lighter winds, but then we do have the chance of rain that's going to return as early as Saturday evening, night into Sunday, and then rain off and on through the day will continue and be the forecast for Sunday. That's all going to be along a cold front that'll swing in from the northwest, so at the earliest, that'll move in tomorrow. This is looking at 7:30. All of those firing off. Some storms too. As far as severe weather goes, might see some stronger storms mainly west of Madison, but that will track in then the later we get into Saturday. I think Saturday mid to late evening into the early nighttime hours at the absolute earliest, but that will affect, with that cold front continuing to move eastward, most of Sunday with off and on showers. So just be mindful of that. If you have any outdoor plans on Sunday, definitely have the rain gear handy off and on through Monday and Tuesday with falling temps in the lower 70s.
Well, for a second day in a row, Packers quarterback Jordan Love participated in team practice. Head coach Matt LaFleur says that Love was limited, though. He suffered that MCL injury in week 1 of the season on playing the final seconds against the Eagles in that loss in Brazil. Now, LaFleur wouldn't say if Love will practice today or not. It's still uncertain if he's going to return Sunday against Tennessee. Either way, he's confident the team can get a win.
What we did last week, I think, gives everybody more confidence, going forward if I'm not cleared this week. So I love that. I love that we got the dub, and it's a big confidence boost going forward in this next week.
More good news for the Pack. Wide receiver Jaden Reed and offensive lineman Elton Jenkins both returned to practice yesterday after sitting out on Wednesday. Well, check this out. Shohei Ohtani becoming the first player in Major League Baseball history to reach the 50-50 mark. First inning of a game against in the game against the Marlins yesterday. He stole third for his 50th stolen base of the year. Then in the second, he stole second for his 51st stolen base. In the sixth, he hit a 2-run homer for his 49th in the season, then followed it up with another home run in the seventh. He was 6 for 6 last night with a 3-run home run and 10 RBI in the Dodgers' 20-4 win.
Amazing. And don't forget to check out this week's Wisconsin Huddle. This week, former Badger volleyball player and national champion Lauren Barnes is stopping by. You'll be able to catch the next episode tonight at 6:30, right after News 3 Now at 6. And still ahead, it's National Family Meals Month. Stay tuned because up next we have a registered dietitian joining us with an easy recipe for the whole fam.
We're back right after this.
Free for the people, only on News 3 Now.
Dreaming about house projects? Do it during this fun event and save on wood, carpet, tile, and luxury vinyl. We'll help you with our interior design staff and the best installers in the business. Save at H&R Carpets and Flooring, Wanakee.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative.
Democrats say everything's great, but when you're on a fixed income struggling to pay for gas, groceries, or medicine, it doesn't feel great.
Biden-Harris created this mess.
And Tammy Baldwin's been right there with them.
25 years in Washington. What's she done?
Raised taxes.
Added trillions in new debt.
And gave stimulus checks to illegals.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
I'd like a stimulus check.
I'd like you to take out the trash.
Tammy Baldwin's partner is Maria Brisbane, a Wall Street wealth advisor to the ultra-rich. They spend their time in New York and D.C. in their multi-million-dollar homes. But Baldwin fails to report their jointly owned assets or Maria's clients, who get rich off industries that Tammy regulates. That's a conflict of interest raising serious ethical questions. Two-faced Tammy Baldwin. She's not for us anymore. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
We found out our baby had severe fetal abnormalities and that my life was at risk. But Wisconsin Republicans' extreme abortion ban forced us to leave the state to get the care that I needed. It was a nightmare. Eric Hovde pushed to end Roe v. Wade. And in the Senate, Hovde would give Mitch McConnell the majority to ban abortion nationwide. No exceptions for rape, incest, or the health of women like me. What is wrong with these guys?
If you're looking for a new fence or deck, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. You'll get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off the installation or 60-month no-interest financing on your fence or deck. Scan the code to see if you qualify.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Well, welcome back, everyone. September is National Family Meals Month, and dietitians are encouraging families to commit to one more family meal together each week.
That's not too bad. One more each week. Totally doable. So joining us this morning is Hy-Vee registered dietitian Erin DeGrave. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me today.
All right, let's talk about the importance of Family Meal Month.
Oh yes, family meals are so important for everyone, from the littles to the olders to the adults and everyone in between, right? So it's so important for our mental, physical, and emotional well-being.
I believe it.
All right. Okay. Where's your mic real quick? I think we're having some problem. Do you have your mic back? This is live TV for you, everybody. There you go. Okay, but we got the gist of it. So yes, Family Meals Month. So making dinner doesn't have to be expensive or it doesn't have to be a long task. But, you know, what do you have here?
Yes, it can be extremely quick. Today I have a chicken bacon ranch non-salad salad.
Okay.
Yes. So really easy. So first you start off with some quinoa, cooked quinoa. I like to use the quick, easy, already made quinoa from the store. So you have that in your bowl.
So that's your base, and then what do you got there?
That's your base. This is some Bolthouse classic ranch dressing.
Ranch.
The Bolthouse that uses Greek yogurt. So I'm just going to add about a little extra than I want, but that's okay. We like it a little extra saucy, especially for the kiddos that love the ranch dressing. So we just kind of mix that up together. Get that quinoa nice and creamy. A lot of people don't like quinoa because it is a little dry. So this really just makes it creamy.
Yeah, it gets around that for sure. And then we're gonna dump some
chicken.
Pre-cooked shredded chicken in here.
Of course. Get those Hy-Vee shortcuts. Really easy. Or if you want to save some money, make your chicken at home, of course. So I'm just gonna add a ton of that. You just, again, mix it all up. And then you can serve it like this and then have your kids, especially if we have some picky eaters, have your kids top their own in their bowl. So I have a very basic right now, but let's add some vegetables because we always want to focus on that my plate.
Right, we got some chopped cucumbers in there, some cherry tomatoes.
Yes, definitely. You can add some onions if you prefer, and maybe some even some olives if your kids love olives.
Yeah, so that's the problem that I run into at home is I like to be an efficient cook, so I'll mix everything together, and then whenever I plate everything, my picky eaters will be like, oh, Dad, why'd you have to put this in there? Why'd you put that in there? So what advice do you have for families with picky eaters at home?
Right, so with picky eaters, you really want to get them involved in the cooking process. So first and foremost, have them help you pick out a meal that they love and incorporate that in your weekly meal planning. So whether it's breakfast and you're eating breakfast as a family, there we go, or even dinner. So it doesn't matter, but get them involved. And then also have them mix with you.
All right. And you've added some bacon bits and some other stuff here.
Of course, we added some bacon bits just to top because it is a chicken bacon ranch, non-salad salad.
All right, perfect. Erin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Make your tailgate tail great at Hy-Vee. Lay's kettle cooked or rolled gold, $1.99. Bacon wrapped sirloins, $2.99. And strawberries, just $1.99. Save in store and online. Friday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Career politicians like Peter Barca will say anything to get elected. His latest negative ad against Brian Style, it's been called blatantly false. The truth, Style has always supported IVF. He co-sponsored a resolution supporting IVF. And Style backs legislation to help families afford IVF. Peter Barca can sling mud, but we deserve better than just another lying career politician.
I'm Brian Style, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde is a multi-millionaire California bank CEO, but when it comes to our health care, his plans aren't so rich. Hovde says he wants to repeal the Affordable Care Act.
We have to try to defund every aspect of Obamacare,
costing 200,000 Wisconsin families their health care. And Hovde supported policies that will cut Social Security and Medicare and raise the Social Security retirement age. A millionaire lifestyle works great for Hovde, but his plans on health care are a disaster for us. Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks a new door to unlimited possibilities. Possibilities to bring you closer to the people and the places you love. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures with the fastest and most reliable internet. Connect to unlimited possibilities when you switch to Spectrum Internet Premier for only $30 per month when bundled, and save with our 3-year price guarantee and no contracts. Call 1-844-653-6824. With the fastest, most reliable internet, you're always front row to the entertainment you love, no matter where you are. And with advanced Wi-Fi to keep you safe and secure online, you can focus on what matters the most. Spectrum Internet doesn't just power your home. It puts streaming, live TV, sports, and popular apps all at your fingertips. Get incredible savings when you switch to Spectrum Internet Premier for just $30 a month with a 3-year price guarantee. That's our promise to you. Call 1-844-653-6824.
We all know costs are too high, but while corporations are gouging families, Trump is focused on giving them tax cuts. But Kamala Harris is focused on you.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll make groceries more affordable by cracking down on price gouging. And she'll cut housing costs by taking on corporate speculators. Middle-class families build America. We need a leader who has their back.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise. Get the updated COVID-19 vaccine at Hy-Vee. Schedule online today or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Plus, get your flu shot and earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Only at Hy-Vee.
Today, Kamala Harris heads to Madison. We'll preview the campaign event and share new polling on the race for the White House.
Also, how 2 local high schools are getting students involved in the political process.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. We had the Breakfast of Champions. Started out with a real healthy way with our recipe.
We just quinoa.
Yeah, a little quinoa.
Quinoa non-salad salad.
Yeah.
Hey, you bring the bacon and the ranch together and the chicken. That's a tough combination to beat.
And add a little onion for you.
Yeah, hold the
onions. Hold the onions.
Hey, we got some rain last night. Much needed. Savannah Burrito's out on the patio to let us know just how much we got and when else we can expect some rain. Hey there.
Yeah, guys, the rest of today and tomorrow is going to be dry, at least most of Saturday. By Saturday evening into Sunday, that's when we're tracking widespread showers that are going to return to the forecast. Most of southern Wisconsin saw something. Most of Dane County got anywhere between about 3/4 of an inch up to an inch. Few areas north of the city and south got a little bit less than that. We'll recap that in a little bit here. But temperatures, they're very mild already, warming into the mid to low to mid 80s today. So we'll be above average today and tomorrow. But then fall, that's actually just 2 days away. It starts on Sunday, and by Sunday, that's when you can expect falling temperatures will actually be back to near normal. And then that next chance of rain, like I mentioned, going to come by Saturday evening into the nighttime hours. I'll talk about which weekend day will be better and recap how much rain we saw from those storms overnight and how much more can be expected. That's all coming up in just a bit.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you. Let's get back to our 3 for the People coverage now. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris will rally supporters in Madison.
The Democratic presidential nominee has a rally planned for early this evening. Our Michelle Renee Quinn is live to preview Harris's first visit to the state since the debate. What can you tell us this morning?
Chris, Kyrie, good morning. Yeah, in just several hours, Vice President Kamala Harris will be here campaigning today. Now, this will be her 4th visit to the state since announcing her presidential nomination. Now, since the Republican National Convention, former President Donald Trump has been back to our battleground state twice. His running mate, Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance, has been to Wisconsin 5 times. Tim Walz, the Democratic vice presidential nominee, has also been to the state 5 times, 2 of which with running mate Harris just miles from Vance. A Marquette Law School poll survey of Wisconsin finds 52% of registered voters support Harris, compared to 48% supporting Trump. Now, Wisconsin Democrats are helping to organize the rally. They say that they're requiring an RSVP and to show up between 3 and 7 p.m. according to their website. The event is full and they've set up a wait list. Live in Madison, Michelle Renee Quinn, News 3 Now.
Michelle Renee, thank you. We'll have coverage of the Vice President's visit all day on all of our platforms. That includes the Channel 3000 mobile app. Find it wherever you get your apps. A new national poll is out this morning, and while respondents grade VP Harris's debate performance over former President Trump's, the race is still deadlocked. The latest Times Siena poll shows 67% of likely voters say Harris did well in the debate. That's compared to 40% who said the same thing about Trump. As for overall support, it is a dead heat. An exact tie, 47% both ways. The margin of error here is plus or minus 3 percentage point. Again, this is for likely voters.
Now to the race for the Senate. Senator Tammy Baldwin will be campaigning across South Central Wisconsin this weekend. The incumbent senator will co-host a meet and greet in Richland County with Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. Afterwards, the two will travel to the Iowa and Lafayette County picnics. Both Richland and Lafayette counties voted for Baldwin in 2018. However, a majority of voters in those counties backed former President Donald Trump in the last two presidential elections.
With Election Day drawing closer, officials are preparing poll workers for voting to begin. Past incidents of harassment, though, have officials ready for anything. In Wausau, the city is hoping to implement a temporary ordinance to protect election staff. It would allow the city to fine or prosecute someone if they verbally harass, threaten, or physically assault a poll worker, election worker, or clerk. Perhaps more significantly, that person would then not be able to do precisely what they came to do.
They're causing a disturbance and we can't get them to cooperate, then they would get warned. And if they don't warn, then they would be ordered to leave and then they could not vote.
The temporary ordinance has already passed the Public Health and Safety Committee and now needs approval from the City Council. As part of our 3 for the People coverage, we're focusing this week on young people in the political process. Now, 2 local high schools are leading the way in getting soon-to-be voters politically engaged.
Our Merrill Hubbard introduces us to the legislative semester at Middleton and Madison West High Schools.
When I had the opportunity to teach civics, I was like, I am taking this. I jumped at it.
Carrie Bowman has been teaching U.S. history at West for 20 years. She was about to retire, but pushed it back when she found out she could teach civics this year.
It's like riding a Mustang right now with the presidential election. It's like, oh my gosh, every day is it's just fun.
It's the first year Madison West has a civics elective, the legislative semester.
I believe that being civically engaged as a teenager, even before you can vote, creates a really good foundation.
The only way a functional democracy works is if you have an informed electorate. And even more now with AI and social media, how do they discern that information and make a really good vote?
To find out, the students take the class into their own hands.
Miss Bowman here, our teacher, really does a good job at kind of letting this be a student-focused class and kind of letting us lead.
I'm allowed to speak my opinions, which I really, really enjoy. And I see that there's other students who agree with me and disagree with me, and I feel like that's perfect for everything.
In the class, they watch debates, learn how to fact-check, argue on topics, and come to a compromise.
There is another side that we don't see, so we try and recognize that bias.
It kind of just goes in a circle of just different ideas bouncing off each other and eventually finding a consensus.
This way, they can learn about the political and social issues that impact them.
Palestine and Israel, and abortion and immigrant. That's my big 3.
I definitely think gun control is a big one, especially when I see other kids fearing for their lives when they go to school. It's always in the back of my mind.
Just like students at West, students at Middleton are talking through tough topics.
A lot of the issues I care about, I would say gun control, abortion, universal health care, a lot of those hard-hitting issues that, especially in high school, children are usually ignored when talking about politics by adults, and I think that being able to take a class like this, where we can all engage with each other and teachers care about what you think, it's especially important to talk about issues like that.
Middleton High School has been doing a legislative semester for over a decade.
It's not like any other class I've ever taught. Our students probably do better than most adults.
No matter how long the course has been going on, teachers are excited to see their students in civics.
I have the utmost faith in this generation. They're much more empathetic. They're much more hopeful. They're much more idealistic than even my generation.
That was our Merrill Hubbard reporting. In 2024, analysts say Gen Z will make up more than 40 million in potential voters.
6:37 now. The Oregon School District is partnering up with Dane County law enforcement to keep kids safe in school zones. It follows a recent report from the county's Traffic Safety Commission that shows that last year vehicles struck 6 children in school zones. That number in the 4 years prior was 9. In one instance, an SUV struck a young girl while she was boarding a school bus. The mother of that girl has this message.
I could have lost my child, It could have been way worse. And it's not only just that, but it's the trauma of it too. It's important to let everybody know it takes like a second of distracted driving to substantially change someone's life.
Police want to remind drivers that when a school bus's red lights are flashing and the arm is extended, you have to stop 20 feet short of the bus in either direction. Drivers who don't can be fined up to $300 and receive 4 points on their license.
Here in Madison, police say suspects in a robbery are on the loose after stealing from a gas station. It happened at the BP on Gammon Road just after midnight yesterday. The clerk called to report that a group of men robbed the station. They said a man paid for gas, left, then tried to re-enter to get his money back. At that point, the station had closed for the day. Police say the man forced his way inside, broke the plexiglass barrier, and stole money from the register. He then drove away in a car with 2 other people inside. Detectives are following up on the case. And a teen is in custody after being accused of displaying a pellet gun near Prairie High School. Police say they found the teen off school district property. The teen cooperated with officers. Prairie police will refer charges. The teen is in a juvenile detention facility, and police say no one fired any shots and there are not any injuries. This case remains under investigation.
Workers will soon demolish what was the Northridge Mall in northern Milwaukee. It's been vacant since 2003 with the exception of 2 giant beehives. They took over the old J.C. Penney and Yonkers department stores. By coincidence, a supervisor with the developer had a background in beekeeping, and they didn't want the bees to suffer, so they smoked them all to calm the bees and then took the hives to a farm in Elkhorn. Either of you two signing up to clear the bees out of the shopping mall?
Absolutely not. No. I would not be your gal at all for that.
No. I do like the honey though.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take the honey.
Yes, I've worked, I did it, like I said, I mentioned earlier, I did a story with a beekeeper and it was a very anxiety-filled experience.
I
but
bet.
You know, the bees.
Those stingers.
Yeah, but only if you're bothering them.
Yeah, we had that story where it was like a beard.
The bee beard,
yeah.
right.
Ooh, I would not do that either.
You lost me at bee beard.
Yeah, exactly. We got some much needed rain though overnight.
Yeah, we did.
Still dealing with some fog though as a result of that because we have cloud cover and high moisture levels. That'll dissipate within the next hour or 2, but dense fog advisories run from Prairie du Chien up to La Crosse. We'll talk about which weekend day will be better and which has kind of a washout for rain plans.
Savannah, thank you. And coming up after the break, a spike in whooping cough cases in Wisconsin. We'll tell you by how much and how to protect yourself.
I want to turn to the issue of abortion.
For 52 years, they've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it.
I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Pella windows and doors are best in class, not only from the endless styles, but for the features you can't see. Pella manufactures, tests, installs, services, and warranties their products, meaning quality craftsmanship and innovative design are built into every Pella window and door for timeless beauty and performance. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
After my son was born, I was having a hard time leaving him, only being able to see him once before going to work and then once before bed. That's just not enough time.
At my old job, my entire check went to daycare to pay to be away from my child. We bring our kids with us in the mornings and they ride with us on our routes and then they go to school.
I'm on a route where I'm the one dropping my kids off at school. It's been phenomenal.
Being able to bring them with me has been really great for our family.
For
3 years in a row, Chevy has earned more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards than any other brand. Whether it's a high-tech SUV, the all-electric Equinox EV, or a truck for work or play, Chevy is America's most awarded brand for new vehicle quality. Qualified lessees can get this well-equipped 2025 Equinox LT for around $349 a month. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back in your Friday morning. Some news from American Family Insurance. They're going to raise their minimum pay to $25 an hour. It's going to start in 2025. The Madison-based insurer has bumped up wages now 3 times since 2020. It's going to impact employees in a variety of roles, including customer-facing ones. They hope to better draw in and retain talent and improve service to their customers.
In some health news, Wisconsin health officials are monitoring a significant increase in whooping cough cases in the state. DHS reported 625 confirmed cases as of last Friday. For context, they reported 51 cases all of last year. However, health officials say this is not too alarming, and in past cycles, case numbers have peaked far higher. One doctor says this is because of the power of the vaccine against the condition.
The pertussis vaccine, or the pertussis component of the vaccine, while it provides good protection, it doesn't give long-lasting protection. And so folks who were vaccinated with the pertussis vaccine a couple years ago may not have the level of protection they do now. So we have more folks who are perhaps susceptible and haven't had the disease.
Doctors recommend getting the necessary vaccines. Children should receive 5 doses of DTaP and a booster of Tdap before age 12. If you're an adult and did not get these vaccines, you should get 1 dose of Tdap. Health officials say whooping cough can be especially dangerous to babies and younger children. They say they can suffer from pneumonia and apnea, which could lead to death.
The DNR posting this year that the southern part of the state is under high fire danger. Those are the counties in the yellow. Before last night, though, the Madison area had received just 0.02 inches of rain or so for the entire month. So this map put out before last night's fire. Of course, the DNR still urges people to reconsider any outdoor burning, especially during the day, and make sure you're discarding of any hot ashes appropriately.
And we are getting an update on that drought monitor. Here's Savannah Brito now.
Yeah, guys, thank you. We did see this get updated yesterday late morning. South of Camp Douglas through the Dells, Watertown, and just southwest of Waukesha now are placed under moderate drought conditions. We went nearly 3 weeks with little to no rainfall at all, according to today's date. That was August 30th, so 3 Fridays ago. That's when we had our last bigger rainfall. We finally saw some overnight into this morning. Other areas like Prairie, Duchesne, south of Boscobel, Platteville, south of Mineral Point, Monroe, Beloit, also placed under moderate drought conditions. We did have areas that did see about 1.5 inches, close to 2.5 inches of rain overnight. That was really near the Platteville area where you see those maroons and purples south of Lone Rock, southeast of Prairie Duchesne. Madison and across Dane County, we saw anywhere between about 1/4 inch up to 1 inch. Those darker shades of blue, you can see on the scale that's 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain. So some much needed rain. We got that. Those storms well and long moved out of here. They broke up as they did travel further east towards Milwaukee. Temperatures will be warm though. We didn't see them fall below the mid-60s overnight. That's because we had all that cloud cover and even leading to some patchy fog, mainly west of Madison. But skies are going to turn mostly sunny. We'll already be in the mid-70s by noon. and then we'll top out in the lower to mid 80s today and tomorrow. I think tomorrow will be the better of the 2 weekend days. We are tracking a chance of showers. I think they'll be more widespread into Sunday. That's going to form along this cold front. This is 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. Most of the activity still to our northwest and west in comparison to southern Wisconsin. That will then track in later into the overnight hours of Saturday into early Sunday. With that cold front, I think they'll be pretty widespread though into Sunday, at least through about that lunchtime hour. Off and on scattered showers are going to continue though through the rest of Sunday, even into Monday and possibly Tuesday morning. So we are going to stick with that active pattern with a chance of rainfall, but notice the temperature is falling. We're back down to the lower 70s on Sunday. That's the first day of fall, and it'll feel much more fall-like by then, guys.
All right, about time.
Yeah, Chris, we know you've been wanting it.
Thanks, Savannah. Let's get an update on our coat count. Coats for Kids going on right now, and we are up to 804 items. We have a long way to go, folks, and we can't do it without you. So between now and October 5th, we need those gently used kids' coats, hats, gloves, mittens, scarves, all those kind of things, or new. So drop those off at any Clinky Cleaners or the Lucier Family YMCA. Before the 5th, we're well to go before we hit our goal. If you want to donate, your money goes a long way. Go to channel3000.com.
Well, coming up in the morning sprint, we'll tell you where the U.S. ranks internationally in healthcare measures.
And if you got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, send us a picture like Posey's family did. Happy birthday, Posey. Have a great one. We're back right after this. Oh, Levi, too.
Yes, don't forget
today.
Levi. We got 2 3-year-olds.
Got a lot to celebrate today. Happy birthday, you two.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
As a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on investing right now in you, the American people. And we can chart a new way forward. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Here's the secret worth sharing. Robertson, Wisconsin's aesthetic leader, has nurses that specialize in custom treatment plans. Always natural, never overfilled. Time to learn how aging is different at Robertson.
We know Wisconsin workers can get the job done.
But China has been taking our jobs.
For years, our government built America's infrastructure with Chinese iron and steel. I said that's got to change.
Tammy Baldwin wrote the law to make sure American projects are made with American iron and steel. Now we're getting more work in Wisconsin.
With Wisconsin workers. Tammy Baldwin stood up to China and our government. She got the job done.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse, raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Get hot water when you need it with Richmond water heaters. This hybrid heat pump water heater is up to 4 times more efficient than a standard electric water heater. Get it for $1419.99 after rebate. Check out our great selection of durable flooring that's easy to install. Great Lakes waterproof vinyl plank features an attached pad for comfort and noise reduction. Legends vinyl plank is $279 a square foot after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
RHD Plumbing. Experience the Dream Team difference.
6:53, time for the morning sprint.
Happening today, Vice President Kamala Harris will campaign in Madison. A rally is set to take place this evening. We don't yet know where exactly it will be, but this is the Vice President's fourth visit since announcing her campaign for president. It comes as new national polling and has her dead even with former President Donald Trump.
Meantime, Harris celebrating an endorsement from a Wisconsin labor union. Teamsters Joint Council 39 is announcing its endorsement of Harris. The council represents about 15,000 workers across the state. Nationally, though, internal polling among Teamsters shows that most of them support former President Donald Trump. The national body itself did not endorse either candidate.
Wisconsin Supreme Court could soon take up Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s ballot case. The state's Elections Commission is petitioning the court to do so. They say the case is highly time sensitive. The former candidate has been attempting to have his name removed from the ballot for the fall elections. He dropped out of the race in August and endorsed former President Donald Trump.
Madison police say suspects in a robbery are on the loose. They were stealing from a gas station. It happened at the BP on Gammon Road just after midnight yesterday. Police say the man forced his way in after hours and stole money from the register. He drove away in a car with two others inside. Detectives are following up.
A first warrant traffic alert. The Willie Street Fair is this weekend, and that means traffic closures in the area. 3 blocks will be closed. They're between South Livingston Street and South Ingersoll Street. In addition, a parade on Sunday will close more streets from 11 a.m. to noon. More details can be found on our website, channel3000.com.
The state is at record highs in unemployment. The Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development out with new data that shows non-farm jobs went up by more than 11,500 in August. That makes up roughly 3,050,000 jobs now in the state. The state's unemployment rate dropped to 2.9%. That is more than 1% better than the national rate.
Workers at Boeing are still on strike, and they're calling for fairer contracts. The 33,000 Boeing machinists say the treatment they've received has a significant impact on public safety. According to the union, their contract, which first took effect in 2008, has remained mostly unchanged. They say it's kept wages stagnant and has not met workers' needs. It's estimated Boeing will lose over $100 million for each day the strike lasts.
Among high-income nations, the U.S. ranks last in health care measures. The Commonwealth Fund Research Group says Americans are sicker, have lower life expectancies, and struggle to afford essential health care. They noted people here face the most avoidable deaths. Researchers say the U.S. should expand insurance coverage and reduce the complexities of plans.
It's still going to be warm out there today and tomorrow, well above average, but then beyond that, temperatures are actually going to fall the first day of autumn, Sunday, and it'll feel much more fall-like out there. We're tracking another chance of widespread showers Saturday into Sunday. So I do think Saturday, that not coming until the evening, that'll be the better out of the 2 weekend days to make outdoor plans.
Saturday over Sunday.
Yes.
But we still need more of that rain.
I know, so it's welcomed, I guess.
It is.
I know.
We'll have another news update coming up in 30 minutes.